Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and I guess welcome to another series of videos for a certain horror franchise that I'll be reviewing. I figured I reviewed, let me just make sure my camera's straight. I think that's okay, I think that's better. But I figured I'd start another horror franchise review. I reviewed all the Chainsaw Massacre films already. I reviewed from the original all the way until Leatherface, the newest one. So I figured, giving some thought about what my next horror franchise review would be. And I figured I'd show you guys what it is. So, here you go. The Friday the 13th films. That's right, I'll be reviewing every single Friday the 13th from the original all the way until the remake. So I'll be reviewing the first 8 films from Paramount, then I'll do the new on cinema ones, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason, and then of course the remake in 2009. So let's get started on the Jason reviews. Now but before I get on to the review, but this box set is the From Crystal Lake to Manhattan box set. I've had this since like 2009. This thing is really valuable. This thing goes for like $138 online on Amazon. So if you ever find this for a decent price or something like that, definitely pick it up. It's a really, really valuable item to have in your collection. So of course, the first review is of course on Friday the 13th. The original that started it all. Now, of course, the first one came out in 1980, directed by Sean S. Cunningham, which I know Sean S. Cunningham had a lot of involvement on other films, like, The Last House on the Left and things like that. Sean S. Cunningham also went on to direct a really underrated movie that just came out the Blu-ray, The New Kids from 1985. It's a really underrated killer, bullies and things like that, kind of like movie. That DVD is also out of print, which I also have. But getting on to Friday the 13th, directed by Sean S. Cunningham. I mean, the film that started the whole Jason the series. I mean, what more can you say about the original film that hasn't been said before? I mean, Friday the 13th, like I said, came out in 1980. And basically, it's about, Pamela Voorhees, who's the killer in the first movie. Then Jason was the killer in the other movies. But this one, it's Mrs. Voorhees herself, played by the late, great Betsy Palmer. And of course, it's about these group of camp counselors trying to open up Camp Crystal Lake. And they start getting picked off one by the killer. And the cast that you have, not only do you have Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees, but you also have Adrienne King as Alice. The other characters, you have Kevin Bacon, of course, a really young Kevin Bacon, one of his really early movies. Harry Crosby is one of the camp counselors, who I think is actually the son of Bing Crosby, Harry Crosby is. And of course, I mean, what more can you say about the original that hasn't been said? I mean, the original film, it speaks for itself. It's one of the most famous horror films ever. It spawned this Jason franchise, and this is the one that started it all. And it's a really solid start into the series. Of course, from Paramount, this movie is. And, I mean, what more can you say about the original film that hasn't been said before? I mean, really great kills in the movie. I think Tom Savini actually worked on the gore effects for the first movie. But, and he also came back to do, I believe, on part 4 as well, so. I mean, really great deaths in here, especially, the one with the axe to the face. Of course, Kevin Bacon arrow through the neck when he's laying in the bed. Really great, awesome death scene in that. And of course, the whole ending when you find out that it's Pamela Voorhees, and of course you have the girl trying to hitchhike into town. She gets her throat slit, things like that. And of course, that whole finale with Alice against Mrs. Voorhees, and Alice just chops off Mrs. Voorhees' head with a machete and things like that. I mean, really iconic moment in the franchise. And of course, that whole ending too, where Alice is on the boat, and then basically you find out, you know, from Mrs. Voorhees saying that she had a son named Jason. The camp counselors weren't watching, and he drowned. So then she took revenge on the kids at the camp, pretty much. I mean, just like I said, really great deaths, really great gore. You know, Kevin Bacon's death with the arrow, the girl getting the axe in the face, and things like that. And of course, Mrs. Voorhees getting her head chopped off, the girl hitchhiking, get her throat slit, things like that. Just a lot of really great memorable kills in the original film. And the original film, I mean, and the music is really, really well done too. You know that, you know, it's like that whole thing where kill her, mommy, kill her, and so you got K for kill, and mom for mommy. Really great horror theme that everybody knows about, just like, you know, with Elm Street and Halloween and The Exorcist. It's like one of those horror franchise or horror movie like theme songs that you always think of, and this is always one of the top ones. And of course, you know, like I said, the whole ending with Alice is in the boat, and the kid version of Jason comes out of the water and drags her down, and she wakes up in the hospital. You know, the boy is still out there, you know. But, I mean, what more can you say about the original film that hasn't been said before? It's really great gore, really great deaths. It's really nice. This cast does a really nice job. Kevin Bacon, Harry Crosby, Adrienne King, Betsy Palmer, of course. The other cast members do a fine job as well. Really great deaths. The whole finale is, you know, just so exciting with Miss Voorhees getting her head chopped off, things like that. But what more can you say about the original Friday the 13th? I mean, what more can be said about the original film? But it's a really great movie. It's a really great horror film that, if you haven't seen this, then you're definitely missing out, because this really started the boom of the slasher, of this slasher series of films, and of course will lead up to Jason being the killer in the other movies. So yeah, but Friday the 13th, really do enjoy the first movie. So that is pretty much it for my review for Friday the 13th. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care, and stay tuned for the next review, which will be on Part 2. I will see you then.